Welcome to the Talk Shop.
Yo, Bernie, what's up?
My man, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Can't complain too much. Can't complain. How are you?
Everything is great. Everything is great. Just got back from my parents' house. We had a little barbecue. Just sort of let them celebrate PJ's 2 years. We try and like split the celebration if we can. So
Oh,
we
okay.
we did that a little bit, and yeah, just came home for this very important, exclusive interview that we have.
I was about to say that was a. I was about to say that was a very quick barbecue you guys
Yeah.
did because it's
Well, we
barely
did it
1 o'clock.
yesterday, and it stayed the night.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
makes more sense because I'm like 1 o'clock is peak time, but yeah, as you said, we have special guests in the house. My sister and my brother-in-law, Dumebi and Justin.
Yeah.
Den Hammer, how you guys doing?
We're good. We're good.
Good.
Excited to be
Good.
here.
Definitely.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Been wanting to have you guys on for a little bit. We've been slacking on our guests, as you've probably noticed. But we're finally glad to have you. My glasses are fogging up. I do not know why, so I'm gonna take them off. No need to. But yeah, welcome you guys. How you guys doing? How is your Sunday going?
Still, not much today. Well, I was in bed literally the whole day. Woke up with a damn fever from my second shot of vaccination, so that wasn't fun. But then took some pills and then I slept, and now I'm feeling much better.
Good,
Yeah.
good, good. Yeah, no, that thing can knock you out. Justin, do you take two or you
Yeah,
take
no, but
yours?
I was already vaccinated a few weeks ago, so and
Okay.
I didn't notice anything.
Yeah. So he didn't get
Really?
anything at all, and I was like thinking, oh, then I'll be fine. That was also my first shot as well. I also didn't feel anything, so I really thought I'll be okay. But this morning, nah, I was really
Did you guys
having,
take two doses both?
yeah.
Oh yeah. Me, I felt it my second one, like 2 days after. Like a day
Mm,
after. Yeah,
yeah,
mine
mine
was the day after.
yeah, so
It
too.
wasn't the morning after, it was like a whole day after. I started feeling like
I think I
terrible.
started feeling it yesterday, to be fair, when I was thinking about it.
When
When we were out for dinner. I was already feeling weird, but yeah. Oh well.
My second one knocked me out.
Mm.
Like I slept and I was like, you know, whatever. Woke up in the morning. I was good that afternoon. Ooh, headache, arm, body ache, everything. I was down for 2 days. Like
oh
the first one was nothing.
oh wow.
Yeah, the first one I didn't feel anything, so I was like, whatever. But that second one, because in Canada they're letting you mix them
Yeah.
because of shortage.
Okay.
So I took Pfizer the first one, Moderna the second one.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
and I was
interesting.
out.
That's interesting. If you
Yeah.
guys hear Kaima, please let me know because she just
I
started
think
making
they're a
noise.
little, oh, such a cutie.
Oh my god. We just put her down for a nap and she's doing what we expected her to do.
Refusing to sleep.
Make noise. Yeah, as usual. Because
Do you
she was very active. What you
play
say?
guitar? Do you
Who
play
what?
guitar? Do
Yeah,
you
I
play?
do.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Since
You
when?
didn't?
No.
Maybe what kind of question is this? I played
Since
guitar in secondary school through Loyola, and then I haven't played in a while. I got one. Amaka got one for me last year, so I started playing again. But I haven't
oh,
practiced in a long time. So, but I keep it on display because maybe one day I remember that I can play and continue playing.
Oh,
But
nice.
uh, but yeah, I do. But yeah, welcome guys. I guess we can begin proper, and I'm gonna try to mute myself most times. Bernie, if you can, just start like let's just start talking about what we want to talk about. Because I have to mute because Kama is getting louder.
Yeah, if I guess as first off, Dumebi and Justin, again, thank you guys for joining us.
oh, thanks for having us.
Why don't you guys? I don't know which way you want to do this, but why don't you guys like tell our listeners a little bit about yourselves? You know what? I know how to do this. My manners, ladies first. Let's do
Definitely.
that.
It's like an interview. Tell me about yourself. I hate that question for real.
It's really an annoying question, but
It's really,
I think for a podcast, it's better, right, than an interview.
yeah.
Like I work here and work there, and
Yeah. Well, yeah, as you guys have heard, this Justin's sister. No, I'm Justin's wife. Jim this sister.
Wow, this could have got ugly.
This
No,
is
yeah,
this is
Chimney's
getting weird.
sister. Yeah, sorry. But well, we live in the Netherlands. I've been living here personally. I've been living here since 2008. I came here to study. Started working. Currently working in the fashion industry as an analyst. Well, yeah, a merchandising analyst, basically planning all our inventory and stuff like that. But currently working at Under Armour. Um, I think that's literally me in a very short um term. Yeah.
You're being very 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 shy. First of all, I just
Yeah, I
remembered.
don't know
Yeah,
why
you
I'm
you
being
are
shy.
you are at Under Armor. I haven't gotten any discounts yet. Just FYI.
Why are
So
you talking about discount?
Actually,
What free stuff? Where's
it's
the
not
free
free. Oh,
stuff?
apparently it's 50% discount. It's not free, but
that's not bad. Still, I
it's
mean, I
not
should
bad
I should
actually.
I should I'll hit you up after this because I need that. I need that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You
I
sorry.
need gym shoes.
No,
I
she'll
need gym
hit me up.
shoes. So
No,
like,
Justin
send
was
them.
even saying the other day that because I was working out and I was previously at my previous company, which I said it. Well, I said it at Under Armour in June, so I was in a previous company which is called Hunkemuller. It's a brand here in the Netherlands, and we basically specialize in like lingerie, swimwear, and aside we do sportswear as well, which was my main department, which was the department I was looking after. And there I got lots of free stuff. Like every sample that came in, you were able to get lots of free stuff. So I'm still working out in those clothes. And then Justin was like yesterday, "Oh, maybe you're still working out in Hong Kong with the clothes. Like imagine like your um co-workers
Co-workers,
see you working out and not Under Armour. How will they feel? Because apparently going to the office, I'm not allowed to wear like Adidas or Nike and stuff like that, other brands in the office.
Oh,
Like
really? They're strict.
like they literally, that was one of the comments that my manager said to me my first day when I went to the office to pick up my laptop and stuff like that. She was like, "I'm not sure if you know this, but here you're not allowed to come in with other brands," which kind of makes sense, but it's not something that
Of
you
I think
live
it's a
to
course.
bit childish.
Is it childish?
Yeah, I think so.
No,
No,
no.
no,
I
it
think it's
makes
fine. I think it makes
it
sense. It
makes
just
sense.
it's restrictive, but it kind of makes sense. I wouldn't see somebody working at Nike wearing an Adidas shirt. You wouldn't see that.
No, no.
But at the same time, if they're going to stipulate that, then they should be giving you free stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
And actually, because I've been to the office like maybe twice since I started working there. And actually, literally, like people wear a lot of like Under Armour stuff, and I don't.
Yeah, you don't have that
No,
much
no, no.
stuff
But
yet.
even if like, because most of their stuff are not is not really fashionable, right? So most of the stuff is really work stuff. So I'm not going to wear like a t-shirt like this on Armour and go to work. Nah, that's not me.
Under Armour doesn't sponsor Ajax. So,
No, but you get what I mean, just so you're so annoying. You get what
Yeah,
I
I
mean.
mean, you should query them, man. Get some free stuff. But yeah, that was thank you for that. Justin, you wanna
Take it
tell us
away.
more about yourself because maybe he doesn't
uh,
want to say too much.
sure. No, I can introduce myself. Justin. I am Dumebi's not brother but husband. I'm Dutch, born and raised, been here all my life. I don't want to tell my age. And currently working as a tech recruiter at an online marketplace. Been working as a tech recruiter for quite some time. I think now 6, 7 years in all kinds of online retail companies here in the Netherlands. What else? Yeah, currently living in Amsterdam and originally from a very small place more in the center of the Netherlands. Yeah, and that's it, I think.
Yeah, not much.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but Bernie spent some of his childhood in where were you again?
Den
Then
Haag.
how? Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. He's one
Yeah.
of those shell kids, so he lived in the
I remember
Netherlands.
that actually.
From what
So
age to what age?
I moved there. I moved there when I was 3. Then I left like a year later. But my parents moved back. Like when I went to university, they moved back to the Netherlands. So they did like 2 or 3 more years there. Um, but my wife moved there when she was 9 and left when she was 16 or something like
Oh
that. So
wow.
we have strong Dutch
Yeah,
affiliations
Yeah.
in our household, and plus like all our schools, because like we went to Shell School even in Nigeria. The way they do it is they have the British curriculum and the Dutch curriculum. So the Dutch kids do Dutch, the same school, but Dutch kids do classes with the Dutch kids. So we were all like, close. So except for football against certain countries, I support Holland. But I feel you. Hop Holland, hop
Welcome,
Holland.
Holland. Nice.
But yeah, so but yeah, welcome guys. It's good to have you finally on the pod, as we said earlier. We kind of wanted to just get you guys on because you guys have a unique story, unique life, and I think it's interesting personally. I mean, I went through most of it with you guys. So I just wanted to like share your story with everyone, you know, and just get an idea of what you guys are together and how, because I find you guys' story very very inspirational and whatnot. So I think we should share that with the world. So, but yeah, obviously, as you can see, they're not of the same origin. They met in school in the Netherlands. I don't know, was it after your first year you guys started dating?
First year of meeting each other, you mean?
Your first year of college?
Oh no, we met, yes, after my first year of college, but we didn't
Hmm.
start officially dating till a year and some after that. So we
Okay.
met in 2009 ish, October. And then we started going out in January 2020, 2011, right?
Yeah, roughly. I don't know very very vivid dates.
Yeah, so I think something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So just tell us about you guys' relationship. Well, first of all, the main interest was when it came knowing our parents. We've talked about this on the pod before, and
Actually, I did
how
an episode about
how Nigerian parents are very traditional, and their opposition to certain things, and how I think even in the last episodes we talked about how people meet people from different places, and we were sent to live in different places essentially, and we met different people, and meeting those people is not different from every other aspect of your life, which includes falling in love and meeting people. So why would they think it would be exclusive? You know what I'm saying? And that's something we face as a family, me and Dumebi's family, when it came time to being serious as a couple with Justin and Dumebi. So I mean, it was a struggle that I know what you guys went through, but just share with us, because I may not have even heard everything. Whatever you guys want to share,
yeah.
because I just know it was a trying time, and you guys obviously came through it without any issues in the end, but there was a lot of issues in the beginning. So just yeah.
Yeah, it's nice that you say it's interesting or it's unique. I don't know if it's unique, but I do find it interesting, to be honest. Because
Mm.
what like I said, we met in 2009 in school, quote unquote. It was outside a club.
Mhm.
It
Of
was
course.
outside it was outside a club. Yeah, we met there, went on our first date, really nice and everything. We, like I said, we started dating in January of 2011. And I think exactly knowing that our parents, the way our parents would have probably perceived the relationship and stuff like that. 'Cause our relationship was fine. I think I don't even think I even mentioned it to you very early
You
on
did. You
about
did.
my
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
parents. Yeah,
You did.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I already knew it was going to be an issue. So I thought in my head, okay, if this is really the guy that I want to get married to, then let me just start the process early. Not that when time takes to get married and stuff like that, then we'll be starting the journey of introducing. Because normally in our culture, right, I guess you guys are used to this. It's like more when you're dating, you don't really introduce your who you're dating to your parents until you get married.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like that was the
Mm-hmm.
culture, that's the way of life, blah blah blah, in Nigeria and stuff like that. I think here, I met your parents literally when.
The first week now. Very good.
That's actually like a really true point because I was dating this girl and she introduced me to her parents and I was like, she's like, oh, I want you to meet my parents. I was like, why? Like literally, I didn't understand what she was talking about, and I met them. They were cool, and she goes, because my parents were flying in from Oman. I don't know like when they were flying, but they were coming in, and I was like, she's like, oh, I can't wait to meet them. I said, no, like we're not doing that. And she was just like offended. I'm like, no, no, don't be offended. Like if I introduce you to my parents, they assume that like I'm trying to marry you, and I'm like 21 or however old I
Yeah.
was. Like we're not. I'm not trying to do this right now.
No.
So we had to make a deal that. Now I was like 19. We had to make a deal that like when I graduate, if we're been there long enough, my parents will come. I'll introduce you to them. That was a deal that we struck, and that was
Wow.
interesting in
Well,
itself.
that's hilarious. No, but it is the truth. Like that's how it is in our culture, right? So, but in my head, I think I don't know when I introduced it to my mom. I really don't know. I probably will probably have like if I look back in my WhatsApp messages, I'll probably have that moment where I told my mom that oh I'm dating this guy. I think I put it. I think actually I put a picture of us on our WhatsApp profile picture.
Yeah, display.
And yeah, display picture. And my mom then messaged me like, "Do you have? Is there something you're trying to tell me or something like that?" I think that's how I kind of like introduced the whole thing. To,
Did you do that on
yeah, yeah,
purpose
yeah,
though?
yeah,
Like were you trying to
yeah,
provoke
Mhm.
her
yeah.
into that?
I did that. Yeah, really. And then she was like, she messaged me saying, "Oh, is there something you're trying to tell me or something like that?" I remembered. I think that's how I introduced
It's
them.
a
But
little passive aggressive.
no, but I didn't know how else to do it initially. But I also don't remember what year was that. But I really don't think it was like in 2011.
No, no, no.
No, definitely not. I think it was more maybe 2014, 13, because it was right before we went to Nigeria, which was in
My first time.
yeah,
Yeah.
in 2015 we went to Nigeria for the first time. That
That was
was
the first time that you told mommy?
no, I told her like a year before or 2 years before that, but it wasn't in 2011 when we
Your
first
first year.
started.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
it wasn't that. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
'cause I thought she knew about him for a long time, even before you guys went to Nigeria at that time.
yeah, so I
But
think a year or two before that.
cool,
So I
cool,
think it was
cool.
either I told her
So
2013 or something like that, or 2014.
So Justin, what was going on in your head? Like to you, was it weird? Because like I feel like some people would be like, "Oh, really? Nah, I'm not about this," and
Yeah.
like I like
My
walk away
mom.
because like it's so like strange. Or were you just like, you know what? I get it somehow, or was
No,
it like really
I don't
weird
think
to
I
you?
got it at all. I just fully underestimated it for a long time. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be fine because I'm so used to Dutch culture where everything is fine and nobody, people care, but not in this way. Definitely not. So I fully underestimated it, and I think I underestimated it even after I met the parents.
Yeah.
And I think till the first time I went to New York and I met her aunt, and she really sat me down. Are you really ready for this? And she gave me a whole speech how I'm basically
I even forgot
not,
that part.
I forgot. I forgot. I think Ollie did that. That's true.
yeah, how I'm
That's true.
basically not ready. And then I was like, oh, this is really serious. I think till that moment I fully underestimated everything, and in my back of my mind I was like, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I'm a good guy, so it'll be fine. And but then it was really like, okay, maybe it won't be that easy at all. Yeah.
Oh snap, that's true. When did we go to New York? Was that in
Yeah,
2015 too then?
something around that time too. Yeah,
Yeah, I think so
she
indeed.
really took me apart and like,
That is funny. She
yeah,
sat you
yeah,
down and was
yeah,
like,
just
"Listen,
to
bro."
come like a
Yeah,
full, yeah. And I was like, oh, yeah. If I really want this, I need to like be more serious about it too. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. I think that was a good. I mean, initially it was there was a question about should he even like you were in my house for a little bit, and then you then went to their house or something. But the question was even should he even go there? I think at that point, but I mean, Article is cool anyway, so we had no
Yeah.
issue with that. And it was more of her sitting him down and educating him than anything
yeah,
because she met him, she understood what kind of person he was, how they were together, and knew that it wasn't anything to be worried about from a personality point of view. So the rest was just fighting for what you want essentially, which is
Yeah.
really what I wanted to bring up in all this because essentially that was what happened with both of them. It was more fight through your adversity to get
Yeah.
to the point where everything wins at the end of the day, which I admire, which is very good. I know from me, when we had that trip to maybe that you came to New York also, and the whole family was in New York, and I think I don't remember what year it was, but that was the first time that our parents sat down with each and every one of us
Yeah, that was
in
2014, I
in
think.
one room. Yeah, in one room and really talk to us about like, you know,
I
because maybe he
remember
was
that.
dating Justin, I was dating someone that wasn't Nigerian either, and
Yeah.
they were like, nah.
Crisis
Yeah, it was
dating.
pretty much
Oh,
was. Honestly, it wasn't. It
I thought
wasn't.
it was a crisis between.
It wasn't a joke because we all left that room like angry. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't. It wasn't a joke at all.
Yeah.
So my parents are really, really, and again, the same arguments we came up with. Like, I don't understand what you thought was going to happen. Us living outside the country,
Yeah, that's okay.
meeting different people. What did you think was going to happen? We would just, and even before we left, it's not like we were going to schools that were just Igbo people or Onisha people, like,
Yeah.
and they were saying, oh, they must be Onisha. I'm like, please wrap your brain about around this. It doesn't make any sense. To be fair to them, again, like I say, I understand where they were coming from at some point. Um, it makes some sense from their point of view. It was just a matter of them opening their eyes to the other point of view and accepting that, understanding that that weighs more than anything they were talking about, and it was just the interconnectedness between, first of all, Baby and Justin,
Yeah.
and then the families and the personalities that matter in the families.
Yeah.
That was the key to everything. So yeah, that was a very trying time. And again, they endured. Um, they kept at it, and it worked out perfectly
I
for
see.
them. So there's different ways it can go, but that's that
It's
it
funny
worked
that
out
you
for them.
say. It's funny that you say we endured it because I know, like, I mean, every couple I think fights and like have their
Mhm,
arguments and stuff like
mhm.
that, right? And me, I am a very
We,
dramatic.
we know, we know, we know, we know, we
I'm a
know.
very dramatic person. So then, in that moment, if we ever had an argument, I don't know if you remember this. I will start questioning everything. I'm like,
Oh,
why
yeah.
am I even fighting for this with my parents if we're arguing and stuff like that? And Justin's like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what, like what the hell are you talking about sometimes? And I
Yeah.
think that really helped me in the sense that he was very different. Because imagine if I was in that mindset in that moment and he was also in that mindset, like coming back at me. I don't think we would have ever worked to get to this place where we are right
I
now.
I definitely think that his personality helped with everything because
That's the thing.
if he wasn't as calm and as collected and determined as he was, it wouldn't have worked. Any small fracture,
Something would
it would
have
have
left this door.
been, nah, I'm done. Because
So I'm curious, Justin. What was your strategy if there was one? Because like you said, you got sat down and you were told, "All right, I gotta take this. You gotta take this seriously, and you're not ready for this." When you left that sit down session, like what clicked in your head that you decided, okay, this is how I'm
No,
gonna
it was
approach
it
this.
was a little bit, I don't know, soul searching to see if I really wanted this, because she made it really like, if you want this, you need to be sure you want this, because it's not going to be easy. I figured, okay, and I realized pretty soon that I did want this. So just notice you have to keep fighting, right? And maybe also from my side at least be a little bit more serious in conversations with the parents. And I think take it from there and take it step by step. And even because I'm pretty relaxed and pretty calm, I don't get stressed easily over any situation. So just take that rest and also try to listen to their parents. Like, what are the hesitations? What are their worries? And try to see if we can get out of there or get from under there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I think something that like we've talked about on the podcast with other people, and I had this conversation with a friend of like Chindi. I met Chike over the weekend, and we talked about like our
mhm,
parents' generation and stuff like that, and like part of it is, it's just annoying. Like it is what it is. But like there is this other side of understanding that this generation grew up in civil war and they grew up marginalized by, the rest of the country. So trusting other people outside, they may not say it. Like my dad has the most white friends of anyone I know. Like in his generation. Like when we're doing his celebration in the village this year, you're going to see like an international group of people, more than you've ever seen in that village. But like even he was telling me, hey, you know, this girl or whatever, like your culture is probably the safest place for you. People who understand you, and this is, and it confused me because I was like, like literally, I don't know a person who interacts with a more diverse group than you, and you're saying this, but then so as I got older, like it clicked in my head that like it's not coming from. I mean, some people it is
Mhm.
coming from a bad place, but like it's not coming from a place of trying to make
Mhm.
Justin's life hell. It's like this is where
Mhm.
I'm safe because of everything that like we've suffered. Because even Nigerians, Igbo people don't even really want to go
Evil like.
outside.
So you're
Like
back.
you think, shouldn't we talk about Onisha, right? My village, like people are like, I want to marry
Mhm.
within our village. That's the level of distress that the Civil
Mhm.
War put in people. That like, who's gonna stab me in the back and this or that kind of thing. That it's just now in like the DNA. So our generation is breaking out of it. So when I put it that way, I'm like, I can understand it, but it almost means you
Mhm.
have to fight more because like it's scared.
Mhm.
They're just scared of reliving all
Yeah.
that stuff in some weird way.
Yeah, and that's the key. And again, that's the reason why a lot of this stuff I think was very inspirational. At the same time, it was very tough. I wasn't ready to do that, so I made my decisions, and I'm happier for it.
Yeah,
So, I'm happier for it. I have no regrets at all. That's just what happened.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, again, personally, I've known. I actually, when did I first meet Justin properly? I don't
I think in
remember.
New York too, no?
Was that the first time I properly met him?
But I don't. I keep forgetting if
In New
the
York,
first time Nigeria was before or after New York.
I think New York was before Nigeria, to be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah, I
correct.
think it was too. And I don't think I met you when I was in Belgium. Definitely not on any of my other European trips. Definitely
Um,
didn't. So, but yeah, I mean, once I met him and everything, it made sense them two together and all that. So I never had an issue. Even till today, sometimes I keep forgetting that there's some things that he didn't participate in. I'm like, like our trip to Europe. I'm like, wasn't Justin there? I'm like, no, he wasn't there. I'm like, God damn it. I keep bringing that up so much, and it's like, oh shit, so awkward. But that trip particularly was one like I think we asked about it. We were like, everyone like Justin should come. Amaka came, and we're like Justin should come, and they were like,
it
and it
must
was
be
because
2018, if you think
yeah,
about it.
and it was because they were like still being protective and trying to like push the whole thing away
Yeah,
or whatever. But it was like, nah, it doesn't feel right. And again, like I said, I keep forgetting that he wasn't there because I felt like he should have been there because
yeah.
it was a family trip. But yeah, so think sorry.
how did how did your parents
My
take it,
parents.
Justin? Like,
Yeah, that's a good
That's a
question.
good question. That's a
were
very
they
good
were they just
question.
like were they just like whatever, or were they
Very
like
good
what's going
question.
on? Like, how
Now,
did they
regarding not
manage the whole
really
thing?
being accepted, it was hard for them to be like, why? Because they see me as their good son, so they didn't really understand that I wasn't accepted. They never really got it, and as I didn't take it personally because I even feel like it wasn't a personal attack on me. It was just I wasn't what they expected, right? So I did repeat that a lot to my parents. Like it's not necessarily that they don't like me personally. I hope, I believe, but more it's like what they expected for their daughters. That's why the problem comes from, right? So I did have to talk a lot with my parents, um, until the moment that they kind of did accept me. Yeah, and
And
then
and
from
and, and
yeah
this is another place where like personality changes or differs because honestly, I can't imagine that's from a another African person understanding the theory around it but still not accepting it. So imagine if it was somebody from what Kenya or whatever. At the end of the day, they're still African, so they get what's going on, but at the same time, they're still African, so they'll say it as an insult. And
Yeah,
then from once the parents also are involved and feel insulted to the level that this, let's be honest, this kind of is,
yeah,
it can be insulting. It is insulting.
yeah,
Um, it would have been chaos, and Justin would have had his own battle to fight on the other side, and probably would have been dragged out of it also.
true.
So every all those circumstances, aligned properly where it was never an issue for them because his parents also are very calm. They understand their child. They understand the relationship. They know maybe for forever, like she said. So
yeah
Yeah,
they knew it wasn't a Justin and maybe issue.
Yeah.
So from that point of view, it was very it made things much better
Yeah.
when things eventually like settled down. So,
I
but yeah,
think with your parents, to be honest, I think the fact that they also didn't hate me despite everything.
No, but
I don't know
they
if
knew
they
you
hate
already
me
for
to
so
be.
long. No, they never hated you, but they already had the benefit of knowing us together and
Yeah.
you for so long already.
Yeah.
So they knew how we were together and they
Yeah.
knew you.
It
So
was
I
always
think
a
it's
concern whenever we went to the house after we went back to Nigeria. Because even when we went the first trip to Nigeria, it was like, oh, so how did that go? The second time when we went to Leeds to meet them, which was we went to Leeds to meet them because they went to go see Chuma as well, and it was that was the I think that was the last conversation before the final
yeah,
approval, and that we already made them know that that was what we were going to do as well. So when we got back, they were like, also what happened? So they were very very supportive and like concerned, and not from a bad place but just more like a hopeful place. I think sometimes your mom will send me text messages and I'm like, I hope, I'm crossing my fingers for you and stuff like that, hoping everything goes well. I think
Hmm.
looking at that in that moment, I don't think I took it to heart, but now that we're talking about it properly and you're really thinking about it, it was really a nice feeling from their side, and it also made me very comfortable. And I think that's why I also really fought for it so much more, because when I look at everything, he is not a horrible person. In fact, he makes me better in the weird, not in the weird way.
I was
No,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
he
that's a
makes me
great place to start. He's
better.
not horrible.
He really
okay.
does. Like you're like you said, like I'm a very crazy person and all out there. And to be honest, sometimes you can be crazy too, but you just know when not to be crazy when I'm being
he
crazy.
knows how to neutralize you.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
just
key.
take time, take turns and stuff like that. But also your parents, I think the support that came from them, not in or not even necessarily just with my parents, but just with us, saying that it will work out, it will be fine, don't worry, just
Hmm.
keep going and stuff like that. And even when we were arguing and they knew that we were having an argument, they didn't necessarily say it's over, done, get away from this. No, it was still more, I don't know how they were talking to you about that stuff with times like that and stuff like that. But it was all very, very supportive. And it made the journey from this side a bit easier, or the hurt a bit easier to take, I
Hmm.
Yeah,
guess. Yeah,
yeah,
if I put it that way.
definitely.
Did you guys, Chindi? Did you like
Okay.
not betray you? I don't know why, but like what was okay? You know, what, I'll ask Dumebi
No,
the question,
actually,
and
you
I'm
should
gonna
ask
ask
me.
you the
Ask
question.
me.
Uh,
Ask me. I'm fine.
okay, what was your?
Hmm.
Because I know you had your thing, like you know that situation, and you made your decision, which was for you the right decision. Because I think I want to stress, like we said, parents are coming from a bad place, but you also have to make a decision with that information that you think is right
Yep.
for you specifically. Jimmy made that right decision for him, but how did I'll ask Jimmy this, and maybe you could respond
Yeah.
or correct him. But like, what was the support of like your siblings like at that point, or was it, you know, you do what you need to do
No,
and
no,
we're
no.
No.
good, or
To be
like
honest,
what was that?
I think another thing that kept me going was that they all liked Justin.
Exactly.
If
It
they
was
ever said,
never.
no, Justin is really not into me, whatever, what are you doing? Then I would have thought about it a bit more. But they all
We
like Justin,
we.
and Sarah especially, and Chimdi. I think those are two people that are really hard to accept if I look at my past relationships. Dara especially. No, but when they were like, oh no, we really like this guy is really, really good and stuff like that, then that also put me at ease. However, I remember a conversation, I think it was at your wedding, Chimdi, where you
Hmm.
said, are you just being stubborn? Which could be true. Quite frankly, I'm a stubborn person. Like,
Hmm.
but I was stubborn for the right reasons, and I think I told you that as well. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I'm being stubborn, but I'm being stubborn for the right reason. And it's not like just because I want to be strong-headed or whatever like that. I think that was that was the one thing I got from you, was like, okay, I know you're really sure this is what you want, but are you really just trying to be stubborn and stuff like that,
I
or
mean, I mean, again, like she said, I met when I met. There's no from when I met Justin. When I knew about him, there was no issue. Personally, I never had any issue. I did my best to ride for both of them as much as I could. At that point, I think during the wedding period, either the conversation came up again. He wasn't around. I think he was even going to come for the wedding too. He didn't
yeah,
come.
happened.
So all those conversations came up again, you know, and it's like, okay, fine. So now we're not getting to a head or anywhere. What is going to break the camel's back here? Because I didn't see them backing down. To me, that was the issue. I didn't want any more of this back and forth and clashing. And it wasn't as if I was saying she should give up or whatever, but it was more, okay, can we, yeah, like what? So are you really like down to continue this fight? That was essentially the question.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. And but no, in terms of, again, we it was the parents against us. Everything they said we rebutted together as one
Yeah.
group, and it was all things I still believed and whatever. So it wasn't like I'll now start changing my mouth after the support was there from beginning to end. So that's how it was for all of us. Like she said, there to and Chuma to his own extent,
Yeah.
did the same thing. Obviously, Chuma even before then has spent the most time with Justin, so he
Yeah.
knew Justin even
Absolutely.
before then. So yeah, so no, we never had any issues. I definitely never had any issues. We all rode for them. Um, again, like I said, every time, even trips, I'm like, why is Justin not coming? I still thought he came. Do you get what I'm saying? So my mind is
Your
already in
mind
the
is
picture.
like in
He's
the
part of the
picture. You're like,
fixture
oh, he's not here.
of the family. So why is he not here? So that's how I see it. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it was never an issue at all.
I think at some
And
point it was more like, okay, to maybe when I think when you asked me about that stubbornness and stuff, was it was like, oh, okay, they're never going to accept. Are you ready to part ways if they don't accept? Are you ready to
Exactly,
walk
that was
away
it. Actually, are
without
you
them if they don't accept? And I think in my head I
because
was like, no, they're going to accept. It's not going to happen.
it
But
was
maybe
getting to a point where we were afraid that it was going to have to be extreme. She gets married and
yeah,
they deal with it after. No
yeah,
blessing from them, no nothing. And that
right,
was actually, we actually explored that avenue.
yeah,
I think so. That was the point where I asked that question. It's
yes,
like, okay, are you ready to do this without their consent and their blessing?
yeah.
That was more of the question.
Justin was not having that though.
Yeah. No, but it was a question. It was like
Get married
because
without their approval.
no,
No.
because
by the way, that's very like I like that you just said that because that's like I mean I know people that have gone off and done their thing
Yeah,
even within like our own culture and like whatever. But in a way, I wonder if like that's the right attitude in some sense. In that he's like, no, we are going to go
mhm,
like get this
yeah,
blessing. Like he's determined to get it, and he's like, we're not gonna go off and just get
mm.
married and then try and figure it
Yeah,
out.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
was
And
that is that what I got? Is
also
that was that
wondering,
your mindset?
your wedding is supposed to be one of your most special days, right? And if your parents aren't there, is it really ever? And isn't that the wrong way to start a marriage? So that was also always in the back of my mind. It's not
yeah.
the way
yeah.
it's supposed to go.
That's true. Would have
It's
never
just
done
wrong, I think.
that. He would have never done.
I like this guy. I like this guy. Like he said. So when the man, I'm really curious. This is like a film to me, honestly. When when, when like the blessing came, like how did that happen? And like both of you,
Oh,
what were
that
your
was
like
really good because
emotions at that time?
it was in 2018 we went on the trip to Greece. In 2018 we went on the trip to Leeds, um, to really like have this discussion. Then that December, what did we go to Nigeria for? Are you
Wedding,
guys?
Kemi's wedding or
No, not
something.
Kevin's wedding. It was Tracy's wedding.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
it was Tracy's wedding that we
yeah.
went for in December again. That's 2018, and that was a trip where I honestly wasn't expecting them to even say yes on that trip. Where
No, I thought it was gonna be a very awkward trip because
again,
we just did Leeds and
leave.
that wasn't the best.
No,
Let me just put it like that.
yeah,
Was yeah, it was hard. It was I think the hardest meeting and the hardest trip.
yeah. I think for you it was
Yeah.
because
I then I was really down because I didn't feel like it was gonna happen.
yeah,
So
but
okay, so question, because I don't even know what you're talking about in Leeds because I didn't participate. But
yeah.
like from my point of view, any visits you had seemed all right, and that's just because, again, like Bernie said, when you're in the presence of people, obviously they're not gonna like act a fool or anything or like do anything to embarrass anybody. Going to be as nice as possible, talk to you, whatever. So what must have happened in Leeds? I'm guessing you guys all had a conversation together in a
Yeah,
room, including
yeah,
Justin.
yeah.
And okay, so that's the difference.
Me along with your dad, you guys' dads, then all together in the room, yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought the conversation with your dad went okay. I was
Yeah.
actually came back quite happy. I think we got it in the back,
Yeah.
and then we both got invited to your parents' room, and then yeah, then the things were a little bit different. That like basically that wasn't gonna happen. That's how we walked out of that room again.
Yeah.
So there was a like from an up to a really down,
Down.
and that's how we. That was a bit awkward because we still had to do stuff together that trip, and that was just very awkward to me. Like going to a Christmas market when we just had that conversation and having glue wine, and I was then at that moment I was really like, oh my, what am I doing here? I really want to go home. But yeah, then especially you had more conversation with your mom after the trip,
Yeah.
and then yeah, then it didn't work out.
Yeah. Because yeah, that was really hard. When I think about it, it was actually really hard conversation, because I think that that was also the trip where we said, okay, you are basically asking for my hand,
Yeah,
quote unquote. I think that
yeah,
that
that
was
was
that
the
trip.
gist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was that trip. Because all this before was just more talking about we're getting there, yeah. But this was more like, this is really what I want to do. Because I think then the January after was when you then proposed and stuff like that. So this was
yeah,
like, okay, I'm really here right now. We're really get ready to get married. I'm asking for your hand, hand in marriage. And my mother basically said no.
no, yeah,
Umba. Like I remember how she was sitting on the bed. Eh?
Mm, this is in
Yeah,
yeah.
Leeds,
That was the
yeah.
yeah.
trip to Leeds. Yeah,
I
This is in
remember she was
Leeds.
sitting on the bed
Okay.
in the corner.
and
She
we were
just
then
crossed her hands like this.
and we were sitting on the floor, like
Yeah.
also like
Oh my god.
just
At the end of
at the
it,
end of the bed on the floor, like okay,
she just said, I don't
This is a
see it.
Nigerian movie,
yeah,
like
that's just.
seriously.
She said, I don't see it.
I want to see it, but I
But
don't
I don't
see it.
see it.
Yeah, I don't see it.
And indeed, after that, we still had to go out. We went out together. We had dinner together. We went to the Christmas market. We were having fun. Like, no,
Yeah,
even, we even went on a ride now. Did we not go
uh,
on the ride, or did we watch the
no,
ride?
I think I watched the right.
You were having fun.
Yeah,
Justin wasn't having any
Justin
fun.
wasn't having fun. But if you had looked at us, if you were someone else looking at us, you wouldn't have thought that it was anything
No,
that had happened in
Mhm.
that moment. No, in that
no,
sense. No.
everybody was still civil,
Yes.
and we're all nice people. But
Yeah.
yeah, in the back of my mind, it was really like, okay, am
Mhm.
I really not supposed to smile and be happy? But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
give me
think
the
that was,
timeline here.
I
Leeds
want to
was
say
when?
November.
but it was cold. October, no, November was close to Christmas. It was
Yeah,
Christmas
but I
week.
feel
Yeah,
like it was November.
November. Yeah,
Yeah, it was November. And then in December
S-
2018, yes.
Of
yeah,
2018
Yes.
or
So this
2017?
has been
2018. Okay. And then a
one
month
year.
later,
Yeah.
you went
Yeah.
to this wedding. Okay. So
No,
we're
no,
not talking like
no.
a year. We're talking literally a month. So what okay, there are two parts to this. What happened do maybe because you were probably
Yeah.
like you said conversing in the background, right? What happened in that month and then what happened
I think
in Abuja
like
that
with my
like
mom, myself and my mom, yeah, we kept talking and
changed
stuff
everything?
like that. And she was like, she's still not seeing it, she's still not convinced, she's still not sure. And I think basically that trip in November was basically trying to say, don't even bring him to Nigeria, kind of thing, because they already knew we were coming to Nigeria in December. But when they knew that we were not coming to Nigeria,
Mhm.
we bought our tickets, we are still coming. This is still happening. I think then, yeah, I think I also think that when after doing that, I think that that's part of what made them see, okay, maybe there's nothing else we can do for this. We can't do anymore. Because I think the words they said in December was basically, we see that you guys are really going to do this no matter what, and we do not know want to support you, so we're going to give you a blessing. Basically, those were the words that they said. They had basically saying that we were not backing
Mhm.
down, no matter what, even after the trip in November, and
Mhm.
him still coming to to Nigeria in December, still trying basically. And they were like, yeah, we see that you guys are not going to give up. And if this is really what you're sure you want to do,
yeah.
we want to give you our blessing. It was such, can I even say, my mom was still in Ghana then, right? So she wasn't around for the whole trip. She
It just
came
came in the end, the last day or something.
the last day. I think it was even the afternoon of the day we were meant to leave or something like that. That's when she arrived. And we were already, myself and my mom, we were talking, because she even told me one of those things like, send me a voice note of really why you really want to marry this man. That's what I remember that very well. Because I woke up in the morning of that day and she was still not there,
Mhm.
because she was meant to come before, and she still didn't arrive. So I was like, is she even going to make it back down? Because at this point, we're literally leaving tonight. Is she even going to come? So she was like, send me a voice note about what exactly you really want, blah, blah, blah. In the end, she came literally hours before we left the house to the airport. That was
Yeah,
when we
but
had that
wasn't dinner.
conversation. Then we had to go have dinner, and then
Yeah, and from the dinner to
we
the
went to the
airport.
airport.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when she then sat us down and said that, okay, we've thought about it. This is it. We accept. I wasn't when we were going into that room. Were you expecting to
No,
hear that?
no, no,
I
no, no,
wasn't.
no.
I wasn't.
Definitely not. No.
I wasn't expecting to hear that. So I was really stunned because then that was when my mom gave me the whole speech of, if she does anything, you come to me
Yeah,
first.
yeah, 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 yeah.
In the
Mm.
speech, he still gives me this
I
type
like
cry. It's
that.
like,
I
Yeah.
I
like that.
promised your
My
mom
mom, I
this.
remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. That's
yeah.
full.
But
By
from
the way,
that
that's
moment, it was
full
like
acceptance at
totally
that point. You know
180.
that,
Like it
right?
was
Like,
so
Yeah.
different from that moment. Everybody
Yeah.
was so accepting, and I from that moment I almost felt immediately part of the family. So,
Yeah.
like
I
that
think
from that moment on, it was so different.
I think starting with the trip to New York, and from then on, I think only because she had met you, she's the only one that had met you. So her word and her understanding of you guys, I think helped a lot also with my mom understanding.
Yeah.
And then from then on, it was just a matter of them deciding when they wanted to really just let go and stop being stubborn, in my opinion. I
Yeah.
think that's really what it was. And then by the time you guys came to Nigeria, then like you said, that's what happened. And again, I think I have a funny feeling there was acceptance for a while, but it just took a while for it
Yeah.
to come
I
out.
think they were trying to push to see if this is the last push. Let me really
Yeah.
see if this is
It's
really
for
it.
how far are
real.
you willing to
Yeah, I
go?
think that's what I feel now thinking about it because it was literally 180, just like Justin said. It was literally no, exactly. It was
Because
so
it doesn't just
weird.
flip like
No, but
that.
but
It's
but
there's some
again,
even
like we've
lay.
all
Yeah.
said here, it's not a matter of the person
No.
or anything. It's a matter of principles that they held. And once the principles were broken, the real relationships came out. So I never thought, I've never known my parents to be vindictive, wicked people or not be nice people. So for me, that point, that when it first came out that they didn't want any relationships that were not what they approved, it was shocking to me from that point of view to begin with. And then, so for me, it would never have been like once they got through that whole barrier of thinking, the next step would never have. It would have just turned to normal. Like everything was like
Like
normal
a
because at the end of the day, what they want is as close to a blended family as possible in terms of everyone is comfortable with each other on both sides, and that's what they try to cultivate. My mother is like that. I know my father is like that too. So I never was afraid that it would be there would ever be any anonymity,
yeah.
animosity, sorry, or anything vindictive or anything like that ever throughout the relationships. Like on my side of me, my in-laws never, and I knew it would be the same thing on his side. So once that levee was broken and everybody understood what was going on, I knew that it was going to be better. So thankfully it came. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
That's
glad. Thank
awesome.
you guys for sharing. I mean, obviously, I've
Yeah.
heard some of these stories before, and I thought it was something that people it happens everywhere, and I think you guys' case is unique, but not unique at the same time.
Yeah.
So just sharing the experience is something that I wanted to do with you guys. So thank you for that. Bertie, do you have any more questions about that specific?
Yeah.
Fam, I could go on forever if I needed to. Because I think also I don't know if maybe your dad would probably not tell you this because Nigerian fathers are not exactly very expressive and more and less so to their daughters. But I have a feeling that, well, I know Nigerian men respect persistence. Like there's a respect level there that like this guy is still coming. Oh shoot, okay, this guy is still trying to talk to me about this. Like he came to Leeds, he's been to New York, he's talked to this auntie, he's done like this guy is serious about this, and sometimes like Nigerian men, like I've experienced this where like they've already accepted, but like Chimney said, it's just either
Yep.
I need to convince my wife, or maybe I haven't talked to my wife yet, or
Hmm.
I don't know how to, because they come off as strong men a lot, but like there's a lot of stuff where like they
like
just
I
don't
s-
even know how
like
to
I
approach the subject,
like Justin said, the
and
conversation
like
with my dad, I'm
it
sure
will
went
become
100%. My dad was already done at that point in time,
Yeah,
so
I
they're
think my
probably
dad
already
already
on
has to
board.
do it. Yeah.
But once he went back to the hotel and talked to his wife,
Yeah.
things had to change. And I'm sure between both of them, he didn't even probably talk during that whole time. He probably just said a few words confirming what his wife said. But usually, when it comes to holding on and like stuff like that, it's never I, my dad particularly, and it's like me too. I'm never the one holding on to anything. It will be somebody else, and they're just trying to back. Yeah, what?
but you're right though. You're right. I think you're right
Mhm.
about. I mean, speaking for your parents, if you listen to this, auntie, uncle, I love you guys. I'm just
Yeah,
saying. I think this is
yeah.
how it went down. That's what I'm
I
saying.
think that's how it was. So, but anyways, again, it's everything worked out. So
He really
Yeah.
did.
I'm
I think
happy.
that was,
They're happy.
yeah. No, I think that was really liked when. Sorry.
So, just I'm curious.
No, I
Like,
was just gonna say I think I really
no,
liked
go
when my
ahead. Go
parents
ahead. My
also
bad.
came because Justin's dad doesn't like
Okay. Oh
flying,
yeah.
and then he decided to actually come twice. First of all, it was like, why do I have to go to Nigeria?
Oh, when
Can't
did
you
they come the first time?
in May?
Man.
Just for the introduction type thing
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
and
traditional wedding.
we have to do introduction first. I was like, can't we not just do it like right before, all in December, right? So then we do
Mm.
it 2 days before the wedding in December. No, 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 it has to happen months before. And it was me trying to. Yes.
Bro,
It's like they giving you a blessing.
Bernie,
Like, do this in
Justin went to
Bible
Onisha
now.
on his J's. No friends, no nothing. He went on his own to Onisha.
Yeah.
He went on his own. He went on his
No,
own.
Wait,
not
wait,
With,
wait. Who
just
took
together.
you?
We went
Someone,
together
someone
as
from
well.
your.
yeah, of course, but like he
Someone.
didn't have any support on his side. Like he was alone with your people. Yes,
Because you're supposed to come with like an
No, no,
entourage,
no.
basically.
exactly. So like
Oh!
now, when it comes to dedication, it doesn't top that for me because
No. Yeah.
Yo,
You also
I
depend.
respect this guy, man. It became that because listen, even in a good
yeah,
Yeah.
It
situation,
wasn't in
that
the end.
introduction can be
It
intimidating
wasn't. In.
because it's designed to be. It's culturally designed to be intimidating. It's not supposed to be like if you do it the way it's supposed to be done. Because now we water things down all the time. Do it the way it's supposed to be done
yeah,
traditionally.
Yes.
You
that's
don't
true.
walk out with a yes
You didn't
that
walk
day.
out with it.
Yeah, we did.
In
But
actual
for me,
fact, it
sitting
doesn't
up there
happen.
and
Like
just downstairs, we were just screaming and screaming and screaming at each other, like, "What is happening here?"
What were they screaming?
yeah,
Yeah, the
Oh,
coach, me was
they're
screaming,
supposed to be negotiating. You know
and
that.
your mom is saying, "No, it's fine, it's fine. This is not fine.
What's
What's
happening?
happening down there?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of that's for sure though, because like even me, I had to do that where like I'm in a different room and they're like, okay, we've heard your proposition or whatever. We need to talk it out, and then you just hear them
Yeah.
chatting again. Like in your mind, it's like, what's going on here? Because even though I knew, I was like, they're actually doing this. Like, what's going on? So I didn't get a yes. What actually happened was he said, thank you. We've heard you. This is this. We're going to confer with our people back home. This was happening in Calgary. They said we're going to have to talk to our people back home, and we'll get back to you in like a couple days or whatever. So I was like later, Dad, have you heard anything? He goes, Nah, they haven't called me. But he was so chill. I was like, why is he so chill? Amara was stressing out. I'm like, what's happening here? So even my dad, like, he was expecting like after 2 3 days, But after a while, he didn't hear anything for a week. He just called him like,
Yeah.
we're good, right? Because like it's all for show. And he's like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I read this somewhere. I just thought we were just gonna keep
hello.
this joke up, like this kind of thing.
yeah. That's. I remember. See, my own was even like I went to. I kind of went solo, like Justin
Yeah,
did.
you went solo.
I went to Houston on my own, but obviously I knew Amaka's brothers before I knew Amaka, so they were my representatives. So they brokered the meeting between me and her father. It was Christmas time, so first of all, they had just moved into a new house. I made the mistake of bringing one drink, and I said it was for everything. And he said, "No, you have to choose one. Is it for you coming to ask for my daughter's hand, or is it for the new house?" So from then on, it was already hostilities. Already like it
You
was
didn't come
already like
correct.
it was. I didn't come correct. Honestly, I messed up. But either way, when I did my speeching and whatever, so but it's always an intimidating like situation. It's supposed to be like you said. At least the first time I asked, then them
Oh yeah,
going for the introduction was in Lagos. I didn't participate, so
You guys were not there.
that's was cool. But yeah, anyways,
In my case, I thought I didn't realize I messed up because the way I told you guys was like the formal one. My dad, we flew in, all that stuff. My uncles came, everybody. But like a couple months before, I just wanted to let him know that like I'm
mhm,
serious and like I'm working
same
towards
thing.
marrying your daughter. Because he kept seeing me around his house, like picking her up, and I was like, I don't want him to wonder like where is this going. And my intention was just to say, hey, I really like your daughter. We're moving forward, and when the time comes, I will do a real introduction. That was what I actually said. He then called his wife, so my mother-in-law, like, come, sit. I'm like, sit. What's happening here? So she sits down,
Yeah.
kind of like your mom, like, hands on this, like, whatever. And she's like, do you know this boy? Why is he asking this? Me and him talk. Like, why is he asking? Like, why is he doing this? And she's like, yeah, do you know him and Amara are together? Yeah, yeah. Oh, he's a good guy. This, that. Okay. They talked to me a little bit, and they're like, just keep doing what you're doing. When the time comes, we'll see. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I thought everything was good. Because Amara was downstairs stressing out because she knew I was going to do this. Next thing I heard through the grapevine, my mom was like, no, my dad didn't know I was going to do this. So my mom. My dad was like, come, did you go to that man and say that you're planning on marrying his daughter? I was like, yeah, what's wrong? He goes, what? That's not how we do this. Because apparently Amara's dad had told some people like,
Mhm.
I don't know why he didn't come with his dad
Yeah.
to tell me that, because there's a
Yes.
process in a way. I
You thought
just
it was
thought
just
we're having a
FYI.
casual discussion. Yeah, it's
Oh,
yeah. We don't do FYI.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
I found that
so
out.
it's pretty much same thing for me too. But I don't think there was no like review phone call to his people and whatever. At least I don't think so. At least I didn't hear about it. So, but pretty soon after the families talked anyway. So it
Nah,
was cool. Um,
I'm curious as to Justin, your family and yourself. Like, I'm assuming this is
yeah.
assumption that Dumebi is the first Nigerian girl
No,
you've
no,
ever
no,
dated. I'm assuming you
that's
could
correct.
correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe
No,
maybe you were gonna reveal something
no.
that you didn't tell her before. Well, that's cool. So, like, what's your favorite thing about
Oh,
Nigerian culture? Like, now that you guys have been together, like, for
it's
so
so
long.
many things. No, I love how friendly and open people are every time I go there. I love most of the food.
I
I don't
knew you
know.
were going to talk about it. I thought the food was going to come first.
No, most. I'm not
Wait,
very good at
he
spicy.
said
he's not a
no. So,
spicy
what's the
guy.
one that you?
I
Okay,
don't really like a
what do
lot
you
of
like and
spicy.
don't like?
So I like jollof rice. I like the Nigerian shawarma.
Oh,
I like chicken
okay.
in general. So I like all those things. But as soon as it gets too spicy, like suya, then no, that's not good for me. So,
That's a no
Woo! Oh, okay, okay. I understand.
sorry to
It's
disappoint.
disappointing, but I get it. I get it.
And no, and just in general, how open and friendly every time I go there, everybody is. So, like the first time I thought it was gonna be scary, just to also be completely honest. But after 2 days, it's oh, okay. This is really not scary at all.
go.
So yeah, every time I go there, I really enjoy it. I'm looking forward to when are we going?
October.
October when we're going again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think even the first time you went, that it didn't, your luggage didn't even come.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
That was
Yeah, I
That was
remember that.
horrible.
I
first time
remember
I ever
that.
went. No luggage. Okay.
Yeah, that was not fun.
Yeah, no. 2 days later or something.
Yeah.
Wait, your luggage didn't
Yeah,
come at all?
luggage was lost. Oh well, it happened.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
These things happen. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's
But yeah, I
that's
mean,
awesome.
honestly, I'm glad we talked about this because I think it was necessary. There's something I want to talk about though because I don't want to go without you talking about this. Maybe your hair care, love, and whatever. As you guys can all see, she has a big fro, which is all her. But yeah, tell us about first of all your whole journey into that. How you decided to do go natural stuff like that. And then coming to what you're doing to help other people that want to do the same thing.
Nice. How did I even start going natural? I think that was in 2014. So yeah, because I think, well, you don't know. I don't know. Maybe you don't know, but I've always been into hair like ever since I was very very little. Like even I had to cut my hair for secondary school. Every time I got back from school, I did something to it. I relaxed it immediately, put some weaves in or something like that. Yeah, I was always
Hmm.
into hair. And I started taking care of my own hair properly in 2012, I think, or 2013. And then I decided to go natural after that. Why did I go natural? I think it was just really out of curiosity. Like, because I had never, I think I relaxed my hair when I was what, 7, which is what is kind of normal back home in Nigeria, getting your hair relaxed while you're very, very young. So I did that already when I was 7. So I had never really noticed or seen or felt my own natural texture. So in 2014, out of curiosity, I just cut off my hair after like 8 months of transition, quote unquote. When I talk about transition, I'm sure you guys don't know what I'm talking about. But basically, not relaxing my hair for 8 months, letting it grow out, and then I ended up cutting it. And then since then, I've just been like documenting my journey online, especially on Instagram. I did a blog. I really failed at the blog. I do Instagram.
You
Sorry,
failed, you said?
yeah, I failed
I
at the
don't think.
blog.
Why? What do you mean by you failed? You didn't
Like
get as
I felt,
much.
yeah, I kept it wasn't as fluid as I would like it to be. The stories I kind of shared was literally kind of repetitive to me, anyways. I just felt at some point, yeah, this is not what I want to do. But then I stuck to Instagram instead. Even if that I also went off and on from Instagram. I did YouTube a bit as well. Still doing that a bit too now, still now, just making videos on like different ways I care for my hair, ways I style my hair. And people have just followed the journey and really liked the way I've shared and have been inspired, which was what kind of brought me to indeed where I am now. It was last year, this no, no, earlier like last year, with all corona happening and everybody being home, you're having more time to think. To be honest, I think that was where it came from. Like you just have more time to focus on some things. And that was when I realized I wanted to make an app, a natural hair app, because it really came about as a solution to my own problem, because we have this thing where we treat our hair every 2 weeks or every 4 weeks or every 6 weeks and stuff like that. We do different treatments, but I found it very hard to remember what treatment I had done the week 2 weeks before and what treatment I had to do in these coming weeks. Like, what did I have to do? Did I have enough product for that and stuff like that? I found it a bit hard to track that, and that's why I came up with the app, because I thought, look, I have a period calendar, so I don't know if you guys know, but most women have period calendars on their phone, which reminds them that, oh, in a few days your period is about to start. I thought, why don't I do that for an app where it's like, oh, in a few days you're about to have a wash day, and your wash day is going to be a protein treatment, or your wash day is going to be a moisture treatment or something like that, and it kind of reminds you to ensure that you have the products that you need for that as well. So I thought, why not bring that into an app? And that's where the idea started from. Then it evolved into like not just being a reminder, but also helping ladies, because I got a lot of questions in my on Instagram about like, how can I grow my hair? What do I need to do to my hair? What do you do to your hair? People were asking what I did to my hair, and it was just me repeating myself about like my process and like the time, the treatments I do, how often I do the treatments and stuff like that. So I thought, why not open that up and give people like basically a template to follow in the form of an app, which then translates into the reminders. So if I tell you that, if basically I give you like you're meant to wash your hair every two weeks and stuff like that, then the app also then reminds you when it's time to do that. So basically giving the template, and then the app is going to be used as a reminder. So that was then the next idea that came. Then the idea that came as well, with just giving tips and different um, tips and tricks on how to take care of your hair. And this is not just about the process, but also different products that can be used, different recommendations and stuff like that. So that's how the whole idea was born. And then now I'm like basically now in the process of implementing that into an app right now. Working with developers is not easy. I did not know this at all. I literally went in very blind because I don't know anything about tech. I just know that I want an app and I just talk to somebody. But yeah, I've been working with these people, and it's very hard to kind of like get your idea across, especially when they don't know or they're not black women, so they are not black women with curly afro hair or afro hair and stuff like that. So they don't really understand, or they couldn't really understand exactly what is needed. So it was nice to also work with a UX designer that was also a black woman that understood. So she was then my leeway to the app developers that actually are now working on the app now. So she is the middleman,
Product manager.
product manager. That's what it's called. Yeah, she is the product manager too. That is helping me relay all my messages towards them. It's still hard. It's still a work in progress, but we're coming there more. We're definitely further than we were in what.
It's coming along
Yeah, it's
very
coming
well.
along very well right now. I'm happy. I gave my last chunk of feedback towards them last week, so hopefully this week or the week after we'll get another update on where we are right now. But I'm really looking forward to that. Hopefully in about a month ish or two,
Mhm.
maybe. With these people, you never know the timings and stuff, but we will come. The app will actually come to life and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to
The
it.
empire,
Oh, you
the
gotta.
hair empire, from beards
I mean,
to
Justin
It's
has been using
facial
your
hair
product.
care
His
is
beard is
growing.
really
nice.
It's growing.
It's
I
popular.
like it.
growing, right? Nice.
Really
Yeah.
good.
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I mean, I think I've mentioned it. Bernie obviously knows about my venture, and I found what she's doing very interesting, also, and something I would probably want to do or integrate or somehow use at some point in my own process. But yeah, I thought that was very good, and I think hopefully it can you can grow it to where you want it to go, and you can share in the in the exactly, exactly, exactly.
Don't forget
This is
us
I
when
was
you
telling
do
Amaka the same thing. Like
campaigns.
you just see different stories, different places, how things start. And it's a matter of just keeping at it and having the idea and building the idea. I keep telling Amaka we need our own idea. I mean, I'm gonna try and push it with
Hmm.
Gamer Guru, but there's many ideas out there that just untapped or just you're just people are just afraid to do it. I know I can be afraid sometimes. But yeah, I'm glad that you're doing it, and hopefully we see the end product soon.
Thank
But
you. It's funny
but
that you
yeah,
mentioned that because we also had that discussion. Like even before I came up with this, like we also had that discussion. Like every other what year or every other month. Or what are we going to open? Justin has talked about opening bars and stuff like that, very randomly and things like that. But I think it's really true that there's a lot of ideas out there, and sometimes you just need to go for it. I know there are some times where with this project, I'm like, shit. Sorry for saying.
you can know we're free on here. Say what you want
Yeah,
to say.
No,
I was like,
we say
why did I
worse.
even start this? So much investment into this. Am I really
Yeah,
sure? But in the end, if I had not done it, I would have never known what come out of it. So I'm just happy, and indeed, like you said, Chimney, like just keep going at it. At some point,
Right.
I think
something, yeah,
it's just finding something you're passionate about, right? And
yeah,
you are passionate about hair, so for you it really works. And then to just keep pushing,
yeah,
I think then you'll get there.
yeah.
You
Hopefully,
have to keep pushing.
I have to
But
keep pushing.
if
We'll
you
see.
find something to really go for, it's really cool.
Yeah,
yeah. I think the same thing too. That's kind of my thinking is just find something that you like and you know that is useful
yeah,
and just go for it. That's essentially what I'm trying to do every time. So, but yeah, guys, thank you. There was something else I want to talk about, but we can. I don't know, Bernie, if you need to go, or we can just we could. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Busy man.
yeah.
Always got to run to the next thing. You know what I mean? But
Well, thanks for having us.
honestly, guys, we're thank you for joining us. Really, really happy that you joined. I will say this for doing me. I always love seeing you. So like, eventually we'll do that. But Justin, so Amara told me the other day, right? She's like, "Hey, so me and the girls are starting to talk about a girls trip, right?" And you see where I'm going with this. In my mind, I love hearing stuff like that. Like, love it. Because, I've been like, boys trip, but hesitating bringing it up, right? So once I heard girls trip, I'm like, yeah, plan your girls trip. Cool. Fine. Because when my time comes to plan a boys trip, I'm calling Chimdi and I'm like, fam, let's go to Europe. Like, I also want to go to
Hmm.
like Holland again because, I do Amsterdam properly. like properly, like never done that properly, and see an Ajax game because anytime I go to Europe, I have to see a game. So, Justin, if you're down, once the girls have gone on whatever the trip and I get to flex my muscles a little
Let's
bit,
do it.
we're
Of
gonna
course.
Yeah,
we're
you
gonna
guys are
make this
welcome
happen if
anytime.
you're
I know
down.
you guys don't want to see me, but to be fair, every time a family member has come here, I've really just dumped them on Justin and said, "Oh, Justin, show them around. You did it to Dara. You did it to
Chuma every time.
Chuma every time. Even
Mm.
Akosa came once,
Yeah.
and Justin showed Akosa around and stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah, definitely. We definitely need to go to the last time we went to Amsterdam for their wedding. We stayed in a hotel right on the same plot of land as the Ajax
Arena.
Stadium. Literally
yeah,
was behind us. Like, but
yeah.
there was no games that time, right? Well, or
It
was
was
there one?
pre-corona.
It was yeah. So nothing was happening. But next time I go there, I definitely have
Let's
to
catch a
attend
game.
the game. So
Yeah.
that's a good idea, Bernie. And you're right. We're doing a boys trip. Just sometimes you. I'm
I'm just
down.
waiting for the dominoes to
But
fall.
yeah,
That's
thank you
all I'm
guys
waiting for.
for coming on. Thank you for being good sports and sharing your story with us. We really appreciate it. Really enjoyed it. But yeah, we have to end,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Yeah, of course,
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
of
It's really
course.
cool what you guys are doing. I'm listening to almost all of them. So
yeah.
keep going.
Yes, please. Thank you. But yeah, if you
Thank you,
maybe
thank
actually,
you.
can you want to plug your ads on Instagram and your the website the people to look out for so they can.
Oh yes, please. You can follow me on at Grow Growing Grown on Instagram, and to look out for the app, you need to go to the website because in there I'm having like updates and stuff like that. It's called myec/oma.com. If you just go on there, you can see like updates and exactly what the app is going to be entail about. And then once it is live, I would also be putting it on there as well. That oh yeah, it's live and everything. So please check that out. Support, support, support. Thank you. Yeah.
We'll
I'm
drop
good.
it in the
Justin doesn't
in
have any.
the Justin. Does anyone want to follow you, or are you good?
I'm good. I'm a LinkedIn guy. I'm a recruiter, and it's really boring. So I'm good.
Nice. Thank
Thank
you
Thanks
you.
again,
guys.
guys.
Thanks for having us.
All right.
Yes. Can't
Thank you
wait to
guys
hear
for
the
joining.
episode. When is it
Appreciate
going to
it.
be out?
2 days, yeah.
Oh, okay.
2 days. No, wait. Is that
No
what I said?
problem. Looking
No,
forward to it
Wednesday.
then.
Wednesday. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
All right.
Welcome to the talk shop.